Well, hello again, Lucy and Acadia. Today I have another Dragon Masters book. I don't know if you read this before or not, but if you did, it was probably a while ago. So if you did, maybe you'll still like it again. This is called Eye of the Earthquake Dragon. I don't know who these people are other than Drake, but we're going to find out. Eye of the Earthquake Dragon, and I don't know whether I'm going to read half of this book or maybe a little bit less than half, but let me tell you what the first 7 chapters are. This is the table of contents. You see that at the top, table of contents. 1, these are the chapters. Maldred has the keys. 2, the dragon's eye. 3, to the temple. 4, underground. 5, 2 dragon masters. 6, Yuri and Zelda. 7, Maldred's powers. Okay, so those are the first 7 chapters. There are 15 in total. See the numbers on the left and the chapter names in the middle, and these are page numbers on the right. So off we go on this adventure. Chapter 1. Maldred has the keys. Let me see if I need to adjust this any. Let me see if the camera is in the right position. Go up a little bit. Let me see. Up a little bit. Yeah, maybe that's better. Okay. Maldred has the keys. Flash! A bright green light shimmered in the underground training room in King Roland's castle. 4 dragon masters and their dragons appeared out of thin air. Drake and his earth dragon Worm, Rory and her fire dragon Vulcan, Jean and her silver dragon Argent, and Dharma and his gold dragon Hema. Drake blinked as the green light faded. The light came from his dragon. Worm had strong mind powers and transported them from one place to another. "Thank you, Worm," Drake said as the green dragon stone he wore around his neck glowed. All dragon masters wore one. It allowed them to communicate with their dragons. Drake heard Worm's reply inside his mind. "You are welcome. Please bring the other dragons to the dragon caves to get some food and water," Drake told Worm. "We will stay there and report to Griffith." Worm nodded. Then Vulcan, Argent, and Hema followed him out of the training room. Drake looked around. Wizards filled, just taking a drink of water there. Wizards filled the training room. He spotted Griffith, King Roland's wizard, who taught him and some of the other dragon masters. "Griffith," Drake called out. A tall wizard with a long white beard walked up to him. "Hello, Drake and Rory," Griffith said. "Can you introduce me to the new dragon masters?" "This is Jean, the protector of the Silver Key," Drake said, "and Dharma, the protector of the Gold Key." Drake had met Jean and Dharma on a mission to stop Maldred, a dark wizard. Maldred was plotting to steal 2 keys that would give him control of a huge dragon with the power to destroy the world, the Naga. When the Naga hatched a long time ago, he didn't understand his own powers. He created powerful earthquakes, so wizards made a silver key and a gold key to lock the Naga away. The keys had been guarded safely for years, until now. "Griffith, we have a big problem," Roy blurted out. "Maldred has stolen both keys." "We've got to stop him before he unlocks the power of the Naga," Jean cried. "Maldred may have the keys, but he has not reached the Naga yet," Griffith explained calmly. "These wizards have cast a spell on Maldred." Drake looked around the room. The wizards were standing in a circle now. Drake recognized one of them, Hulda, a wizard from the far north. She and the other wizards were pointing at a glass globe floating in the middle of a circle. Magic flowed from their fingertips. Inside the globe, Drake saw an image of Maldred. He was standing still like a statue. Right now, the wizards have trapped Maldred in a magical dimension, Griffith said. While he's there, he is unable to move or use his powers. Dharma spoke for the first time, smiling. That is good, he said. But the wizards cannot keep Maldred frozen for long, Griffith warned. We need to act fast, Rory cried, before Maldred breaks out and goes after the Naga. Okay, that was chapter 1. So what comes next? That's right, chapter 2. The Dragon's Eye. How much time do we have? Jean asked Griffith. Not much. We expect that Maldred will break out of our spell soon, Griffith replied. But the wizards and I are crafting a new spell that will stop him for good. The other dragon masters are helping us prepare. Drake looked around. Are they here? Griffith shook his head. Bo and Anna are gathering important items for our spell, he explained. And Petra is searching her family's library for a special book. Are you sure the new spell will work? Rory asked. Maldred already broke out of the Wizard Council's prison once. This spell is much more powerful than Wizard's prison, Griffith promised. Dharma spoke up. While you are busy crafting that spell, perhaps some of us could try to find the Naga, he said. He held out a piece of paper with a map stamped on it in ink. Griffith's eyes widened. Is that a map? Yes, Drake answered. Maldred might have got the keys, but Dharma got this from him. Maldred figured out that the raised markings on the keys created this map, Dharma said. He said these shapes are islands. Indeed they are, the wizard said. This is a map of the Dragon Islands. Here, let me give you a close-up of the map. There it is. The map of the Dragon Islands. Maldred said this map showed him where to find the Naga, Jean said. But I don't understand. How do we know exactly where the Naga is? Rory asked. Follow me to the classroom, Griffith said. The 4 Dragon Masters walked past the circle of wizards into the classroom. Griffith picked up a book. I have been searching for clues about where the Naga might live, he said. I found this rhyme. You know what a rhyme is? That's like poetry where the words at the end sound like each other. So he began to read out loud. Okay, here is the rhyme. From deep within the earth you will hear this cry. The Naga temple is in the dragon's eye. From deep within the earth you will hear his cry. The Naga temple is in the dragon's eye. The dragon's eye? Rory repeated. Dharma laid the map on the table. Drake could see now that the islands made the shape of a dragon. The dragon had a head, a body, a tail, and legs. See the islands? It looks like the dragon. He's pointing to where he thinks the eye is. Jean pointed to a dot on the map. Look, that dot is where a dragon's eye would be. Griffith took a closer look. You are right, he said. He turned to Drake. You must travel to the eye of the Dragon Islands. Find the temple of the Naga before Maldred does. Chapter 3, To the Temple. Now that we know where the Dragon Islands are, Worm can take us there in a flash, Drake said. But what should we do when we get there? You must warn the Naga's Dragon Master that Maldred is on his way, Griffith replied. Wait, Jean said. The Naga has a Dragon Master? Yes. But the legend of the Naga does not tell any more about his master, Griffith said. Did you ask the Dragonstone? Drake asked. Griffith had a large green chunk of the Dragonstone in his workshop. The Dragonstone chose a dragon master for each dragon. I did, Griffith replied, but the picture it showed me was cloudy. There's very strong magic surrounding the Naga. So they don't know anything about the dragon master for the Naga. Hope he's a good dragon master, or she. Drake tried to imagine what the Naga's dragon master might look like. You have to be big and strong to control such a powerful dragon, he guessed. I bet the Naga's dragon master is a grown-up, not 8 years old like me and my friends. We'll warn the Naga's dragon master about Maldred, Rory said. Then she made a fist. And if that evil wizard shows up, we'll make sure he doesn't get control of the Naga. Griffith shook his head. Rory, I need you to stay here, he said. Every important wizard in the world is in this castle. If Maldred gets free and decides to attack, we will need all the help we can get. Rory nodded. That is true, she said. Vulcan and I will guard the castle. Thank you, Rory, Griffith said. He turned to Dharma and Jean. You two will go with Drake. I'm glad my new friends are going with me, Drake thought. I know I can learn a lot from them. We will do our best to protect the world from the Naga, Dharma promised. I know you will, Griffith said. Then he walked to a shelf and picked up 2 small, round mirrors. He gave one to Drake. Take this magic mirror with you, Griffith said. You can use it to contact me, and I can contact you with mine. Thanks, Drake said, slipping it into his belt next to his silver sword. Jean had given him the sword in the lair of the silver dragon. We had better go now, Jean said. Drake, Jean, and Dharma said goodbye to Griffith and Rory. Then they rushed to the dragon caves. The dragon caves. Drake showed Worm the map and pointed to the eye of the Dragon Islands. Can you get us to the Naga temple? The green dragonstone around Drake's neck began to glow. Drake heard Worm's voice in his head. Yes. Drake touched Worm's neck. Jean and Dharma each put one hand on Worm and one hand on their dragons. To the temple, Drake cried. Whew. Boy, I bet this is going to be an exciting encounter at the temple in the Dragon's Eye. That is the end of chapter 3. And what is the next chapter? That's right. Chapter 4. And the name of this chapter is, it's a long word, isn't it? Underground. That's a compound word. It means it's a word that is comprised of 2 words by themselves. Under and ground. Underground. Drake's stomach flip-flopped as Worm transported them to the island. When the dragon's green glow faded, Drake blinked. At first, he couldn't see anything except darkness. Hema, please shine for us, Dharma told the gold dragon. Argent, you too, Jean told the silver dragon. I guess the gold dragon and the silver dragon can shine, so they're going to make light where they are. They're deep underground. The 2 dragons began to shine with silver and gold light. Drake gasped as the metallic lights swirled together, sparkling in the darkness. That's beautiful, he thought. We're underground, Dharma said. Is this the temple, Drake asked. It doesn't look like the inside of a temple, Jean said. She pointed to a tunnel in front of them. Maybe the temple's down there. Hema and Argent lit the way as they walked through the tunnel. Drake looked at Dharma and Jean. I'm glad you two are with me, he confessed. I must be here because it is my sworn duty to protect the Silver Key, Jane said. But I'm glad you are here with us, Drake. As am I, Dharma added. There is a reason that fate brought the 3 of us together. I believe we will not fail. I hope you're right, Drake said. Soon the tunnel opened up into an enormous space. Wow, let's take all this in. See it? See the dragons on the left, and there's Dharma and Drake and who's the other one? Dharma, Drake, and Jean. Dharma, Drake, and Jean down there. And look up on the right there. Drake gazed around in wonder. The floor was made of smooth, dark stone. A very, very long dragon was painted across each wall. At the far end of the space, Drake could see a large ball of glowing yellow energy. Slowly, the three dragon masters and their dragons moved closer to the ball of light. See it there on the right, this ball of light? They're moving closer. Two figures were floating inside the bright ball. Two figures. One was a boy with pure white hair, dressed in all white. The other was a girl with dark black hair, dressed in all black. Each of them was wearing a dragon stone. "Those are dragon masters," Drake cried. Look, see? There are two dragon masters, a boy and a girl. One is all dressed in white, and the other is all dressed in black. Chapter 5. Two dragon masters? And there's a question mark after it. That's why I raised my tone right at the end of that. It's called an inflection upward. Two dragon masters? That's unusual. We haven't seen a dragon with two dragon masters before, have we? Well, now we have. Why are dragon masters floating in a ball of yellow light? Jean wondered out loud. Maybe they need our help, Drake guessed. I don't think these dragon masters need saving, Dharma said. I don't like those eyes. Look at those eyes. They look a little bit mean, don't they? As Dharma spoke, the yellow light began to fade. The two dragon masters gently floated to the ground. Their eyes narrowed as they stared at Drake, Dharma, and Jean. "Who dares to enter the temple of the Naga?" they asked, talking at the same time. "I am Drake, and this is Dharma and Jean," Drake said. "We're dragon masters too." He pulled out his dragon stone necklace and showed it to them. "I didn't know a dragon could have two dragon masters," Jean added. "Are you both dragon masters of the Naga?" The boy and girl didn't answer Jean's question. "Intruders are not allowed in the temple," they said. They held out their arms. Streams of yellow light snaked from their fingertips. The yellow light sped toward Drake and the others. "Quick, get behind Worm," Drake yelled to his friends. The three dragon masters ducked behind Worm as the earth dragon's body began to glow. A wall of green energy appeared in front of him, protecting them and the other dragons. The powers of these dragon masters remind me of Echo, E-K-O, Echo. See, there's the word Echo, E-K-O. The master of the thunder dragon, Drake thought. The master of the thunder dragon. Echo learned how to tap into the powers of her dragon. They made her very strong. So the dragon master... Okay. Alexa's talking to me. She thinks I'm asking a question. Can you hear that? Okay, it's done. Alexa's finished talking to me. Okay, Drake called out to the Naga's dragon masters. "Please don't attack. We are not here to hurt you. We are here to warn you." "Intruders are not allowed in the temple," the boy and girl repeated. They glared at Drake and the others. "Go away." They raised their arms again, preparing to attack. See, here you see them attacking at the bottom, but Worm has created this green shield of energy. Chapter 6. Yuri and Zelda. Well, we got some more people now. We have, that must be who they are. I bet those are the two Dragon Masters, but we'll find out. Worm, keep the shield up, Drake said. He turned to Jean and Dharma. What should we do, he asked. I could ask Argent to use his shine powers, Jean suggested. That would stop them. Drake shook his head. We can't do that. It might hurt them, he pointed out. We need to show these Dragon Masters that we are here to help. Drake! Are you there, Drake? A familiar voice called. The voice came from the magic mirror in his pocket. He took it out and saw Griffith's face looking at him. Maldred is free, the wizard cried. He is on his way to the temple. You must stop him from gaining control of the Naga. Drake held up the mirror. Griffith, the Dragon Masters don't believe us, he said. Please tell them. The boy and the girl stared at the mirror. Listen to these Dragon Masters, Griffith said. They are here to help you save the world. A bad wizard is coming for the Naga, Drake added. The Naga's Dragon Masters looked at each other. They lowered their hands. We believe you now, the boy said. I am Yuri, and I am his twin sister, Zelda, said the girl. We're sorry we attacked you. Oh, good. I'm glad they made friends. Drake tucked the mirror into his belt. Worm's shield of protection disappeared. Uri and Zelda walked toward them. How does this wizard plan to take control of the Naga? Zelda asked. Dharma answered her. He has the silver key and the gold key, he explained. Legend says that whoever unlocks the power of the Naga can control him. That is Maldred's plan. Yuri and Zelda gazed behind them at a huge door in the temple wall shaped like a circle. There was a dragon carved onto the face of the stone door. A dragon's body curved around the door, and a dragon's head statue looked down from the very top. See, there it is. It's kind of hard to see because it's in between the folded pages, but that's what they're looking at. Yuri placed his hand on the stone door. The Naga rests beyond this door. He is at peace in his home, deep inside the earth. For years, the two keys were the only way to open the door and control the Naga, Zelda said. But then things changed, Yuri continued. The Dragon Stone chose 2 Dragon Masters for the Naga. The Naga's Dragon Masters have kept watch over him for a very long time, Zelda said. We are the latest ones to do so. There's nothing that can break our connection to the Naga, Yuri finished, not even a powerful wizard. Jean frowned. You don't know Maldred, she said. Drake had a question. When we first saw you, you were floating in a ball of energy. Were you tapping into Naga's powers? Yuri smiled. Yes, we were connecting with the Naga. The Naga's energy is so strong that it lifts us off our feet, Zelda explained. Yuri stepped forward. Thank you for warning us about the Dark Wizard, but you can leave now. You don't understand, Jean said. Maldred has powerful magic. He will find a way to boom! As Jean spoke, a ball of dark red energy appeared out of nowhere and exploded right next to them. I bet you guys know what that is. It's Maldred. Maldred. Here we go. Maldred. Chapter 7. This may be the last chapter I read to you right now. It's Maldred, Drake yelled. The wizard stepped out of a cloud of red smoke. He wore a patch over one eye and had a long black beard streaked with white. Argent, blast him with your silver shine, Jean yelled. Hema, attack, Drake commanded. Drake knew that the silver and gold dragons were both really powerful. Besides, using his silver shine, Agent could also reflect an opponent's attack back on them. Hema could change into any form as well and shoot gold attack beams from his eyes. Hema and Argent began to glow with energy. Before they could attack, Maldred blasted them with magic. The red orbs bounced off Argent Silvershine. Maldred dodged the return attack and pointed at the Dragon Masters. "Worm, protect us!" Drake cried. Worm created an energy field in front of Drake, Dharma, and Jean. Maldred's dark magic bounced off the shield. Behind Maldred, Uri and Zelda began to glow with yellow light. They're starting to channel the Naga's power, Drake realized. Maybe they can stop Maldred if we can't. Maldred glared at the Dragon Masters protected by the shield. "Nice try, but you can't stop me," he taunted. "Your wizards couldn't even keep me in their silly magical dimension." Maldred swirled around and shot 2 blasts of magic at Argent. The dragon spread his silver wings. The red balls of magic bounced right off the wings and zoomed back toward Maldred. The wizard held out both hands and the balls of magic exploded before they could hit him. "Hema, attack!" Dharma cried. Hema shot gold beams at Maldred. He pushed those back too. Drake sent a message to Worm. "Worm, can you stop Maldred?" What do you think the answer is going to be? Worm closed his eyes. Using the power of his mind, he began to lift Maldred up in the air. Maldred grinned. "I knew that you all would try to stop me," he said. "That is why, after I left Wizard's prison, I invented this." He tossed a small, glowing red bottle onto the floor. Worm's green light began to flow out of his body and into the bottle. So did Argent Silvershine and Hema's Golden Glow. So all the magic powers are going into the bottle that Maldred threw on the floor. Worm lost his hold on Maldred. The wizard dropped to the floor. "What is happening?" Jean cried. She ran toward the bottle. Before she could grab it, it zoomed up and into Maldred's hands. He put a stopper in it and tucked it into his pocket. "All your dragons are now powerless," he exclaimed. Chapter 8, and this is where we're going to pick up next time with Chapter 8. It's called Unlocking the Door. We'll find out how the battle turns out between Maldred and the 3 Dragon Masters and their new friends, Uri and Zelda, the Dragon Masters for the Naga. Bye-bye, girls.